Hi and welcome to this edition of Out the Box. My name is Paul. Today we're going to have a look at what is in this box. This is the Reolink CX410. It's a PoE powered camera, ideally suited for outdoors. Not going to be a good big technical overview. We do have some comparisons on our website, thetechgeeks.com, of the image quality that you get from many of the Reolink cameras and many of the other cameras that we sell on the site as well. So do use that for knowledge. This is to show you what you get in the box. So you are going to get a pouch here once you open the box up, and inside there you are going to get some Reolink 24-hour protected surveillance camera stickers. May not use those. You're going to get an installation guide for what they call the waterproof lid, which I'll show you about in a moment of what that is. That's where your Ethernet cable connector is going to be. You're going to get a little warm tips guide, which is, this reminds you need to be connected to a PoE device. You are going to get a little drilling guide for mounting everything in place. You are going to get a declaration of conformity for the country that you are in, and you're going to get your instruction guide. All right, so that gets rid of the main pieces of documentation that you may never look at, I guess. You're going to get probably a 1 meter Ethernet cable there in a packet. You're going to get screws and lugs to be able to mount that onto a hard surface. And you're going to get what is called the waterproof lid. All right, so we'll come to that in a moment, and I'll talk to you about that in a moment. This is the camera itself. Now, these are getting quite a lot of traction at the moment because it has an f1 aperture. It has an aperture that is able to absorb a large amount of light. It also has these, I think they're 300K warm LEDs. And so as a result, the aperture size allows us to consume or absorb a lot of light, so we can get really good nighttime vision already without having to use infrared, or actually without having to use our lights as well, because we're absorbing more light. If you've got ambient light around from a street light or from some garden lights or something like that, then you'll find that probably a large way through the night this will already be showing you color vision. So it's a beautiful camera, got a metal construction for the outside. Always like these because we've got this simply made knuckle joint on here that gives us plenty of directional control, and obviously we can mount this directly onto the wall. Let me just show you through those, and if we obviously loosen up our connection at this end here, we have this type of control with it as well, which gives us quite a lot of advantages. We have a full two-way audio system on the bottom here. All right. And then in the back here, under this panel, we have our reset switch or button, but we also have our SD slot. So as you know, these cameras, most of the Reolink, unless the battery powered ones, although there are some changes coming with those soon, these all can be controlled and save their data either locally on an SD card or on an NVR, a network video recorder. The advantage of an NVR is that we can keep data that happened before an event, before the motion was detected, whereas obviously with a battery-based camera or recording directly onto the SD card, it's only going to start recording when the sensors are fired off on that device. All right, so that's the camera itself. Let me just go through there again to show you that nice and clearly, and you can see everything on that. Then let's have a look at the cable. So the cable is pre-wired. That means you have a number of cables at this end to deal with. So let me just take these off, and I think actually, in fact, under that cover there is not a reset pin. The reset here is on one of these cables, this one here. Then we've got our 12-volt supply in here, so you can mains power these if you get the appropriate power adapter directly for it, but this one is designed to be powered by PoE, power over Ethernet. So that means you need a power over Ethernet switch, or you need a PoE injector to power it. So that's going to come from your switch out to this device. Now, obviously, this is exposed outside. So there is a junction box you can get to hide all of this in. Alternatively, you can use the waterproof lid. So what's the idea of what's in this packet here? We're going to pass our Ethernet cable through there, all right, and then clip it in to our Ethernet cable. Then once it's clipped in place, These two obviously will seal up together. I'd maybe put a little bit of electrical tape around it probably to finalize it off, but you've got a bung and everything there. So at this end, this should make it watertight. Now a key for the rest of this, if you're going to use just this outside like that, is what I would call a drip loop. All right, so we are looking to have something at least like this for your camera. All right, you may decide that you leave these hanging down this way, for instance, somewhere. What we're looking for is any moisture that comes down, all right, will always fall down to the bottom of the cable and then drip off. The better we have with these connectors falling downwards as well as liquid coming down this way, it can't egress back up this way. We'll hopefully drop down and around. But that drip loop is probably a key thing if you're mounting these outside. So hopefully that's been useful. These are highly popular, really great camera range. Going to get that good pictures at nighttime as well. So like I said, this is the Reolink CX410. Head on over to our YouTube channel. We've got loads more box openings on wireless network and firewall devices. What do I need to run a Reolink network? What do I need to even secure my network with a firewall? Plenty of educational information over there. So why don't you head over, subscribe, and stay up to date.